Python as a programming language, so we should know about the history of the Python, not in detail, but a bit from where that word Python comes from and who was the person who initiated this language. So first, we need to know that the Python is one of the most popular programming language in the world. Has created everything from Netflix recommendation algorithm to the software that controls the self-driving cars. Python is a general purpose language, which means it's designed to be used in a range of applications, including data science, software and a web development, automation, and generally getting stuff done through the Python. We are doing that thing right now. So history of the Python language development is it is created by Guido von Rossum and the first released on February 20, 1991. While you may know that the Python is a large snake, the name of a Python programming language comes from the old BBC television comedy sketch series called Monty Python's Flying Circus. What you can do with the Python? There are a lot of things that you can do with the Python, but few are very important, and we have mentioned over here for your reference. The first thing that you can do is the data analysis and the machine learning stuff you can do in the Python. Nowadays, intelligent system applications are being developed using the Python. And we can also develop the web application through the Python, and that is a language which is being used for automation or the scripting. Python can also assist in software testing and prototyping, and it can be used in every type of a task that we want to perform. Python is easier to use, easier to learn, and it's fun to use Python for your own programming task. So as I mentioned earlier, that this specific series is for those who don't have any idea about the computer programming or who don't have any idea about the Python. So these are the few terms that we should know before starting the Python language. So what is a program? What is input? What is process, output, and the variables? So the program is a computer instructions that we are supposed to write and that will be executing one at a time. Input is a program that input is a part of a program that gets data, perhaps from the file, keyboard, touch screens, or the network. A process is basically the computation that is performed on the data, such as adding two values like x plus y. And the output is a program that puts the data somewhere, such as to a file, screen, or a network. Variables are a very important part because we are dealing in a variable when we are using a programming language. So everything or every idea is being manipulating through the variables. So here we have a basic computer program. So here we have a screen, as you can see here. In this screen, we have a variable x and a variable y. So x is a variable that is taking an input from the user. Y is a variable that is taking an input from the user as well. And we have another variable called z, and that is adding a two different variable that we have been defined here. So here put z to the output. So here we are, and this is a statement that will help you to write the output on a screen. So here you can see if this program we want to execute, so we have a value 2 against the x, we have a value of 5 against the y, and by using this statement, we are adding these two variables together and we have a 7 here. So these are the inputs that we have been provided from the keyboard, and on the output screen you will see 7 over there. So the first programming activity that we may have over here is like as I said, that you are supposed to manipulate the variables in the Python. So here we have a variable named m, and we have assigned a value of 5 to m. Single assignment operator is being used to assign the values which is been assigned to the variable that is on the left hand side of the number. And put m means that you want to print that number here on the screen, and these are the statements that you are having after the put method over there. So what you are doing here is you are manipulating the value 5 in this statement. So you have m is equal to m into 2. It means that you have m is equal to 5, and you are computing the value of m again, which is m is equal to 5 into 2. So now the value of m will be 10, and you are writing put m. So it's mean that the 10 will be visible to you on a screen over here. So now you have another statement here. So what you are doing, so we have a 10 in this m. Now 10 into 10 is 100. So this put will let you know that now the value of m is 100. Now you have here 100. So 100 plus 15 is equal to 115, and you will be able to get the answer 115 because m is equal to 115 now. So by using this statement you will be able to get answer 115. Okay, so now we will going into deeper details of the Python. So we have here the programming concepts and and some important concepts regarding the Python. So the Python interpreter. So what is the interpreter? Interpreter is a computer program that executes a code written in the Python programming language. As I mentioned earlier, that is basically responsible for reading the user-defined instructions and convert them into the machine readable language that is being understood to the interpreter, and will perform the execution accordingly. So what is an interactive interpreter? An interactive interpreter is a program that allows the users to execute one line of a code at a time. It's mean that interpreter is like if you want to execute the single statement in a Python, so you can do that as well. So in the Python language, suppose an example, these are the signs that you will find on the interpreter, and after these signs, if you will write here p is equal to 5, so it's mean that you are assigning the value of 5 to the p, and it's mean that whenever you will write any statement after these symbols, so if you will press enter, and then if you will write here in the next line 5 into p, so it's mean that you if you will press enter after that, so 5 p has a value of 5, so 5 into 5 is equal to 25, so 25 value will be visible to you. So it's mean that every statement can be written in an interpreter, and then if you will press enter, so you will be able to get the output instantly. So what is a code? The code is a common word for the textual representation of a program, and hence programming is also called the coding as well. And the set of statements that we write in a program is called a line. and the single statement. Okay, so the single statement is a line. So the number of lines makes the code or makes the program. What is a prompt? So the prompt is in an interactive interpreter display. This symbol, as I was talking earlier, that indicates the interpreter is ready to accept the code. So this is a symbol, and after that there is a cursor prompting over there, asking you to write the code. If you will write a code, as I mentioned earlier. So after writing the code, you will press enter, and then you will look in the next line the execution of that statement, what is output against that statement. Now we have a few more ideas or the concept that you must familiar with that. So one is the statement, which is which is a program instruction. Expression are the code that return a value when evaluated. For example, wage into hours into weeks is an expression over here. And what are the variables? So the names, wages, hours, weeks, salaries are the variables, which are named references to the values stored by the interpreter. And assignment is a very important concept here as well. So a new variable is created, and by performing an assignment using the equal to symbol, as I mentioned. If you say p is equal to 5, so you have created a variable p of an integer type. How do you know? Because you have written an assignment operator here that's tell you that you are assigning a variable, you are assigning 5 to the variable p. In this way you can also initialize the variables as well. So print function displays a variable or expression values. And if you want to write a comments, because it is very important, whenever you will write a code, you must comment it. It means that what that specific statement in a code is representing, you should write that in a comment sections. Comments are not executable. That is only for your reference. So if someone else wants to read your code, so he should know what your code is doing, what that specific line of instructions are doing over there. Therefore comments are very important, and that is being used with the help of hash symbol. You will write a hash, and then you will write comment after the hash.